Welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of season 2 of Degens Dragons. We are going to be kicking it off here, but first, before we get into the gameplay and the recap, I want to go ahead and thank the sponsor of this episode, CoolStuffInc.com. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring us. Make sure you guys use code DGEN at checkout for 5% off any order, including Magic, D&D, board games, or any of your other nerdy needs. All right, let's go ahead and start with a short recap of where we left off from last episode. Ruben, you want to take it away?
Sure. Well, when last we left our heroes, they had kind of just met each other, except for, of course, Jen and Airball, who knew each other from the previous season. They had come into the middle of some chaos, and trying to figure out exactly what happened in that chaos, they all eventually convened at the offices of Obnixilis, better known in the streets of New Capenna as the Adversary. Obnixilis has some history with Jen, as Jen is a agent enforcer, let's say. The rest of them had not had as many relations directly with Obnixilis, but they were brought together by the Jumpers, the Plane Jumpers, sort of a ragtag B team of almost planeswalkers who are able to take care of problems that perhaps the mainline planeswalkers aren't able to take care of. They were set on their path of the Plane Jumpers to discover exactly what happened at a party thrown by Jetmir, the leader of the Cabaretti faction here in New Capenna, and they were in a bar called the Ledger Shredder, a attorney and lawyer hangout in the city of New Capenna, but they'd also identified that there was a speakeasy in the back, and as they open the false bookcase into the speakeasy in the back, a well-known face to at least two of you is in the back, as we had a vote, I think, to determine who might be hiding out here in the speakeasy, and it turns out that it is a person that Airball has met before, a broker's agent that they ran into in Kamigawa, who appears to be hiding out in the back here as well. For those of you that play Magic the Gathering, this is also going to be familiar to you, as this is the face of Lagrella, one of the broker's enforcers. Jen, you can see yourself kind of in sepia tone across the bar here. And as the door opens and the silence is palpable and you could cut the tension with a knife between you, there is the flickering of a radio in the front room, and it appears as if an advertisement is playing over the speaker in the front room as the bookcase begins to close. And the radio says, "This episode is brought to you by Rat at Tat, Capenna's newest tattoo parlor that is definitely not a front for illegal activity. Featuring a full-service tattoo studio that provides high-quality tattoos to clients around the plane and absolutely no illegitimate goods or services. Featuring 500 square feet of clean, professional store with a casual atmosphere that offers highly trained tattoo artists, like our owner and lead artist, me, G Fang. And absolutely do not bring up any funny business. Ask about our discounted Rat at hats with purchase, able to fit any weird-shaped head you got. But please do not ask about unlawful business ventures upon the premises, as we are a legitimate one. Located in the bright, sunny, and beautiful Botanical Plaza just below Park Heights, and tell them G-Fang sent you, unless you're going to bring up stuff that's illegal."
Well done. Well done.
So that advertisement plays over the radio, a little bit of grainy music then picks up and starts playing, a lonely saxophone with a little bit of jazz vocals that's tough to make out here in this back room, which is very shady and smoke-filled. There appears to be a few characters in this room. A well-dressed ogre appears to be the bartender here. Dark maroon skin, well-trimmed hair that is slicked back, big barrel chest, and a couple of thinner characters that look a little bit gaunt and a little bit sickly, but they have a unnatural presence in their eyes. And then stirring a drink with a swizzle stick is this woman that you recognize. As last you saw her, you were on a different plane of existence.
Before I make any interaction, I just want to say, anybody else notice Nemo and Dory chilling in the back of this photo? Like,
Where?
in the back of the aquarium, there's just a clownfish and a whatever fish.
Oh my god.
It's a
There
little
is.
Dory, and there's like those two types of fish are not anywhere else. So it's like definitely a reference. That's cute.
Very good.
Canon, same universe.
So I'm gonna see. So I see the girl. I'm gonna go ahead and just like kind of turn around and like tap Airball on the shoulder and like point. I think your girlfriend's over there.
She is not my girlfriend. In fact, I seemed to make her quite uncomfortable the last time we spoke.
I guess we should get in there and see if we can figure out possibly where Xander might keep his hidden stuff, because we're sort of in Xander's territory now, and we're looking for anything that any hint that we might know where a secret hideout is, where he might keep his loot or storage safety box, something like that. So let's go in the back and see if we can find anybody high up with Xander's crew.
So has she noticed us?
Yeah, I mean, as the secret entrance opens, all eyes turn to the false bookcase. The two, Jen would recognize these as vampires. These two thin, gaunt people sort of lean away from Lagrella. It looked like they were having a conversation, and they move away towards the end of the bar. Lagrella remains in front of her drink and grins slightly as she measures you up and down. And the ogre bartender gives you a nice nod and tosses a towel over his shoulder.
Awesome. I'm going to just head up to the bar and order a drink, sort of seem as inconspicuous as possible.
What can I get you, lady?
What would, this is a hangout for vampires, so.
Well, I mean, we have all kinds of drinks. You don't necessarily have to drink the vampire stuff.
I was thinking out loud to myself what I should order. I wasn't talking to the bartender.
I didn't realize that was internal monologue.
Love it.
Clot Toddy.
A glot toddy, gotcha. All right. And he like starts reaching up at high shelves and grabbing drinks and starts mixing that for you.
Nice. I'll just have a whiskey neat, please.
Easy enough. Pulls a nice unlabeled brown bottle off of a middle shelf, and a nice 3 fingers of whiskey are set in front of you. And Lagrella looks askance at you as you order just a straight booze, but doesn't make any noise.
While this is going on, Gustav is going to lean in to Airball and just like lower his voice and say, don't worry, we will help you with your girlfriend. I'm great with the ladies, so I can be your, how you say, fiend man?
I am truly grateful for any assistance you can provide. I believe I am experiencing what humans call sexual tension.
God, no.
Yep. I mean, smooth jazz is playing. It is dimly lit. It's got those nice incandescent bulbs in the lanterns that have just like a few beads on them. You know, the vibes here are pretty good for a film noir.
If anyone can help me get some tail, it's probably Gustav.
Oh my God. Airball and Gustav, you guys should go talk to her and see if you can get any information.
Yes, right. Information, of course. All right. So I've got my drink, and we're gonna walk up, and I'm going to feign a trip and spill a little bit of my drink on her.
Okay. Make a performance check for me.
Oh boy, that's a 10.
Okay. Is that with your modifier?
That is with the modifier. I rolled a 4.
Great. Okay. Listen, 10 is usually... This is not rocket science. This is not brain surgery you're trying. All you're trying to do is feign a trip, and you've reached double digits. This is not a hard thing to do. And so you are able, having done a number of pratfalls in your day, to slip a little bit and catch yourself on a bar stool after spilling just a little bit on this woman's dress of whatever order you happened to have gotten. It seems as if she's already been quite spilled upon this evening, covered in other drinks or perhaps some rainwater from the streets. Tough to tell. She may have been involved in the fracas that happened earlier at the cabaret party, which is unsurprising given the blast radius of that event. But she looks at you and she says, "Wow, that's quite rude."
I'm so sorry. You see, I've maybe had a bit too much to drink. I'm the clumsy one, and of course, my friend here is the handsome, coordinated one. I'm so sorry. Here, let me get something to clean this up with, and then I'm going to push Airball up a little uncomfortably close while I turn to get something, and I will say a little too loudly, "Okay, I got you in. Now this is your chance."
She will respond with, "Hey, don't you worry. You're not my type exactly, tall, dark, and squishy, but I understand that it's a mistake to make, and oh, I recognize you. How you doing, bucket of bolts?"
Greetings. I admit to being a little uncomfortable, much as you seem to be. Are you too experiencing sexual tension?
Oh, with Squid Gentleman? I mean, not yet, but we'll see where the night takes us. Although you've just shown up, so once is a coincidence, twice is a trend.
We do seem to keep finding each other very often.
I don't think did I catch your name? If I have, well, I've certainly forgotten it by this point.
I am Airball. Here, allow me to help, and I'll disconnect like an air pump from my arm and spray it on the spill that Veggie's dumped on her shirt.
Okay. Let's make a check for that. Let's make a... Because this could go bad, is why I want you to make this check. Make an intelligence check. This would be more of a tinkering check, actually, if you're proficient with tinkering.
Okay.
I made you... I went ahead and rolled. I didn't think you had dice. I rolled a 15, so add it to whatever you have.
Wow. 15 plus your bonuses.
So tinkering I don't actually see on my
So if you're not proficient with tinkering, then don't add your proficiency. Whatever your intelligence score is.
Okay, so we rolled a 17 in that case.
Great. So you're able to very deftly pull out your compressed air pump and dry off the section that Gustav so rudely spilled, and it flutters the fabric in a really excellent and flirtatious way, and she seems very pleased with that interaction. Meanwhile, Gustav, the ogre bartender, has handed you a couple of paper napkins that have the logo of the Ledger Shredder on them, and he's offered you his bar towel if you think you need that, but then looking over and seeing the interaction, he puts the bar towel back on his shoulder. Says, I think they'll be fine.
Oh, yes, thank you. This would work fine. Also, could I get another one of these? And he's already finished the rest of the drink.
Perfect, absolutely. And he starts shaking up another drink for you. Meanwhile, my name's Lagrella. It's nice to meet you again, I suppose, or meet you for the first time, either way. So, you found this particular hiding spot. What brings you all the way back here?
Well, my friend who you also met back on my home plane of Kamigawa took me through a portal with her.
Oh, yeah. And she looks over at Jen, get a big grin on her face and says, now, she's also my type. But I'm talking to you right now, so...
Fascinating.
Well, looks like she has a similar build to mine. I bet she has a similar resume as well. We have a lot to compare notes, as it were. But your specialties are a little bit different. You're a different kind of guy, is what I can tell. So, you're here to look around? Is that all? Take notes? Investigate?
In a manner of speaking.
Any specifics? Any areas of expertise or interest?
My programming tells me that small talk is appropriate in this kind of situation. Do you come here often?
Here? No. But Capenna's where I'm from, so I come here often. But
well, then what brings you here tonight?
This particular room's a hiding space. I found myself in a bit of a dangerous situation and needed to get out of Dodge fast, so decided to hit up some of my old friends, and she waves to the couple of vampires on the other side of the bar, and lay low for a little while until everything outside cools down. It was quite a rough party.
My sensors indicate that you are injured in some way. Have you been in an accident?
She moves her leg behind. She moves her left leg behind her right leg, attempting to perhaps cover something up, and she says, "I'm fine. Thank you so much for asking. I'm just taking a load off until it's time for me to head home." You were gonna say, Jen?
I was gonna say I'm gonna turn to Astrals' character, Yom. I'm gonna say we shouldn't have let them go by themselves. This is a disaster.
I agree with you, boss. At least we got a drink for the show.
The bartender looks at Yom and says, "Hey, do I recognize you from somewheres?"
A bit of street fighting down in the proving grounds.
That's what it is. Hey, you're the one that you got like a 5 or 6 fight win streak, don't you?
Ah, you got me good there.
Hey, how might a guy like me break into that business?
I'll have my people talk to your people. Look for a little fella named Archie. Can't go wrong.
Archie. All right, I'll keep that out. All right. Hey, I appreciate it. Have Archie come by here, and ask for me.
I will do. Put her there.
All right. And he'll punch your fist, and it's a good solid punch. You know, for an untrained fighter, probably a good starting point. Lagrella is sort of mindlessly swirling what remains of her drink in her hand, and is sort of looking around the room at this foursome of newcomers that have sort of spread out to disparate portions of the room, and she says, "What are you here to do? Is this like a strike force? Are you trying to capture me? What's the deal?"
My only goal is to capture your heart.
Okay, that was cute. I really liked that. But seriously, all of this is setting off a lot of alarm bells, and I think you're adorable. That was very well done. But now I'm not in a good mind space for this. maybe when things are a little bit less violent around town, that can work out. But you know what? Give me your hand.
Okay, I'll reach out my hand to her and
She
reattach
pulls
the air
out,
pump.
and she pulls out a pen-like device, but in your hand appears like just like you would call up. Like I do this when I'm signaling my phone. You just have numbers on this part of your hand. So instead of writing, she just types in the numbers on your hand. Just go ahead and save that for later. We can have small talk another time. For now, I'm not in the mood. Seriously, though, what are you people here to do?
Have I made it back by this point?
Sure.
So Gustav has been like keeping an eye out, trying to make his way through the people, which has taken longer than he expected. To him, it looks like things are going poorly for Airball. So he's gonna more aggressively push his way over. Here's the last little bit there about Strike Force and Airball saying no, and he'll say, and yes, actually, we are the elite Strike Force. We are here for we are here on behalf of Albert. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he is very important. And so are all of us. We are I've said too much, but you know, I'm sure he's filled you in on this. We are very important. This is a big secret.
I rolled a roll there. She doesn't recognize the name Abby or Aubert. And she says, I'm not familiar with anybody of that name, but there's a number of people in this town that I'm unaware of, and a number of events that are going on that I'm unaware of as well. If you're an elite strike force, and you've shown up mere, I would say, maybe an hour after many of this town's most important figures have been attacked, perhaps the bar isn't the best place to be.
Am I within earshot of all of this?
Oh, for sure. It's a quiet 5 by 15 foot speakeasy. There's very little room, maybe 20 feet long, but you know, you can barely put two people past each other if they're trying to get past the bar.
So we came to this bar looking for, so this is Xander's area, but this girl is with the brokers, right?
Correct. The bartender and the two vampires who are hanging out here look like they are members of the Maestros. They've got the clean-cut white shirts, black suspenders, black slacks, but it looks like she is hiding out here, and she is in party gear. Not necessarily like a flapper dress per se, but certainly a ball gown that you would wear to a fancy party in New Capenna. However, some of the filigree has been torn. There's certainly other spill marks from earlier in the evening. It's easy to see that she was in some sort of danger at some point while wearing this outfit. But she is certainly not a member of the Maestros.
All right. So I would know that, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Cool. I am going to walk up to her and say, so what brings you to this part of the neighborhood?
She'll look at you and grin big and say, wow, this is my lucky day, apparently. I mean, I didn't have a home base to run to as I ran out of the soiree. I didn't necessarily have time to pick and choose which base I wanted to run to hide out in. I just happened to be running in this direction, and I remembered that I had a few favors that I could call in, and this seemed as safe a spot as any to hide out until the jamboree had ended.
I see. And where do you plan to go after this?
After this, I'll probably go back to HQ, check in with my boss, see how she's doing. From what I understand, I'll say this: if my boss had been killed, I would have heard about it, and it would have been on that radio out there. So, no news is good news as far as that's concerned. I think that my plan is going to be to stay hidden for now, till the water settles.
All right. And you're not worried about being at Xander's local hangout, given that Xander is dead?
I had heard about that. I mean, Xander's got dozens, if not hundreds, of hidey holes that his people can be in. As you can see, there's only 3 of the maestros here. I'm sure everybody else has gone to ground. They're hiding in their places that they go to when it gets too hot outside. This just happens to be where I am. I'm not concerned necessarily specifically, because nobody in this room is a hot target. Unless y'all are keeping a secret from me.
Well, it depends. I mean, you don't think the maestros might look for some revenge? Do they know who took out their leader? Could have been someone from the brokers.
I suppose it could have been. However, I was within eyeshot of Jetmir and Ginny Fay and Kit Kanto when the proverbial shit hit the fan. And so I'm pretty clean. There's no way that they would think that I did it, particularly the fact that I got hit so hard just as everything started popping off. So I'm not worried for my safety. And if it was the brokers that did this, which certainly they're capable, but they didn't tell me about it.
All right. Well, we are actually looking for some of the maestros higher ups. Do you any idea who would be in charge now that Xander's not in the picture?
Well, I wouldn't know much about the internal politics of the maestros, but maybe my friends at the end of the bar would be able to help you on that front.
All right. Thank you so much.
Of course. And your compatriot has my number if he decides not to use it.
I will keep that in mind.
I will call you, maybe.
All right.
Yum. The people at the end of the bar, the bartender knew who Yam was from the fighting. I'm wondering if like this area or this bar is like really into fighting. Maybe Yam could go talk to them.
Be more than happy to, boss.
I'll take the advice from Jen and work my way over carrying the big beer and just kind of stretch it out behind the end where the 2 maestros are at and say, "How's the night going?"
Wow, you're a weird-looking dude, aren't you?
Well, they don't call me pretty for nothing.
All right, that's nice. So what's your name, buddy?
Yum. One of the pit fighters there.
All right. Nice to meet you, Yam.
Nice to meet you. What can I call you, friend?
You can call me friend for now.
I like that. How about you put her there?
He'll, like, see your fist and, like, shake it. Like, yeah, nice to meet you. So, what brings you all the way up here? This is a weird spot for a brawler.
Well, weird is what just happens in the day in the life. You know, one day it's pit and fighting, other days it's having good architecture. Some nights it's a quiet night down the river, helping someone with a new pair of shoes. And, well, tonight it's trying to find out some helpful information. My boss behind me there was wondering if she could have a private word.
I'm gonna lean in real close in there.
If you know what I mean.
think I know what you mean. You're not. There's a private word, as in like a private word, not a private word. Like you're not making a sexual innuendo thing happen here.
I'm a very literal person.
Yeah, I get that. You got C- written all over you. All right. Yeah, I'll go talk to her. And this guy kind of like ambles past you. And like as he walks past you, his face like gets really uncomfortably close to the side of your head. And he like just sort of like looks at the side where your sideburns would be if you had them as he moves past and ambles down towards the bar. And towards Jen. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. I'm actually looking for the next in command. Now that I have heard that Xander is no longer with us, I have some pretty important information the Maestros might want to know about.
Okay. Well, I know who you are, so I think this is fine to share. You're looking for the next in command? Well, you found him. My name's Angelo. It's nice to meet you.
Break, is that a character I'm supposed to know?
Angelo?
What card is this?
This is Angelo the Painter. He is a vampire that takes over for Lord Xander after Lord Xander bites the dust. He is the new leader of the Maestros.
Really? Like in the actual
In
story?
canon. Yep.
Wow, learn something new every day. Wow. Okay, sorry. I'm just
worries.
amazed. I get to learn all the cool magic story stuff.
Yeah. I try to make this I'm trying to make this educational. It's edutainment is what this is.
Love it.
All right, well now you got to stay in theme. You got to seduce him.
Seduce him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a private word.
So you said you know who I am. So you know, I'm just wondering now that you are next in command. You are now in charge of the Maestros. How important is it that you stay in that position?
Interesting. I mean, if Lord Xander goes away, somebody rises up to take his place. If I go away, somebody rises up to take my place, right? Like, it's not gonna ruin everything if I go away.
It would ruin things for you.
Personally, I would much rather be above the ground rather than 6 feet below it. But
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, the Maestros are still in one piece, I think. It's a little bit nebulous because I'm kind of stuck here for right now. There may be a power play on the main office before all is said and done, but, R.I.P. to Xander, but I'm built different.
Okay. Well, maybe we can work together. Maybe I can help you out with that power play for control of the Maestros. My boss is looking for something that Xander had, and if maybe you can help me out with that, we can ensure that you get to keep your spot.
So you're saying your boss doesn't want to be in charge of the Maestros? That's the impression I got anyway. He's much more of a random action generator. It didn't really seem like he had designs on leading the family in mind.
Well, let's say he doesn't necessarily want to lead the family, but he also doesn't want any of the families to have more power than him. So we can maybe meet in the middle. You get to lead your family, you stay out of his way, we work together.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I can do that.
You're trying to sell him on sharing gang territory.
More like, not necessarily sharing gang territory, more like he can be in control of the Maestros so long as the Maestros are working for him. As long as the Maestros are working for Obnixilis.
Right.
So persuasion plus 4, 19.
Angelo has odd sclera in with the coloration of his eyes. Instead of having like white eyeballs, they're shaded grayish. Even in this darkened light, you can tell. And the pupils and irises are brighter and almost feel like they're iridescent behind them a little bit. And he's sizing you up and considers your words and is very, takes his time. And he thinks to himself and he says, I'm in a very precarious position, so right now I think I can, we can come to some sort of arrangement right now. But we're going to need to have a longer discussion in the future about what this means. But for right now, I think I can trust that we have similar designs in mind. You said you're looking for information. What, do you have any ideas what that could mean?
Yeah. So Xander was trying to keep something from Obnixilis, and Obnixilis would like to get that item back.
As soon as you say the name Obnixilis, just like out, he makes sure that no one else is necessarily within earshot of you saying that. And no one is. No one is directly next to you. And he looks back at you with narrowed eyes and grins a little bit and says, guess we are kind of on the same team here. If you're willing to share that information, I'm happy to tell you. Xander was a collector, and he had a lot of art and sculpture and old pieces from, back when it wasn't new Capenna. You know what I mean? Lots of plinths and busts and old histories. He kept it in a vault. Kept most of his prized possessions in a temperature-controlled place where they could be kept safe, and he could go down and look at his treasured historical artifacts whenever he wanted to. That's probably what you're thinking of. Now, the vault is, well, it's hard to get to. It's got lots of security around it. Probably the most secure place in all of New Capenna. Even if I told you where it was, you'd have a hard time breaking into it. And I don't necessarily know how to get into it myself. It was not a maestro's location. That was his. So I'm happy to take you to the door. But it's going to be your responsibility to get inside for whatever it is you want.
Who would be in control of that location now that Xander's dead? I assumed it would be you.
Oh, good heavens, no. I'm in charge of the business operations, kind of a right-hand man. I manage the people, not the stuff. Particularly his personal art collection. That was his business at his undisclosed locations. I only know about it because, I was allowed to know about it because it might be where he would go to hide in a situation like this.
Okay.
But I don't know how to get in, and I don't think anybody knows how to get in. It's just a security system. It's automated. There's probably golems and glyphs and traps and things down there if you're trying to break in. But as far as I'm aware, there's no head of security.
Okay. Well, I would really appreciate it if you would take us down there, and I'll make sure that that you are repaid in kind.
I don't really want to go right now. You see, it's still kind of hot outside. People tried to kill a lot of us all at the same time, and you can't be sure that they aren't still trying to get me. In fact, it's a little weird that you, Jen, you were gone for like a month longer even. Then you show up the night of one of the most serious and dangerous attacks this city's ever seen on the elite people at the top of the food chain, and suddenly you find me here and are asking about leadership of the maestros. Now listen, I understand that you're not necessarily grasping for my sheriff's badge here, but you gotta admit, it's a little weird, the timing.
It's not super weird. My boss made a play and and got Xander. So if we were trying to get you, as you can see, we're already here. You are already got. So if we wanted you dead, we would just kill you here. So you can take us to this location with my protection and my thanks, and I'll ensure that you get to keep your spot as head of the Maestros.
That sounds fair enough to me. Deal may change in the future, but we can sneak out the back. Your whole party want to come along, or just you and me?
I think we're all going. It sounds like there might be some obstacles down there, and I'm definitely going to need some help. You guys still okay to come? I hear there's some good stuff down there.
You got it, boss.
Okay.
Is Veggie just like talking to the fish behind the like?
Sure.
Tentacles against the glass.
Hi, friends.
Yeah. Hey, man, how's it going? Good to see you walking around out there, man. That's enough of the fish scene.
Well, I am a talking fish.
Yeah, man. You're a talking fish too. We're not
And
so different, you and
think
I.
I've had maybe too much to drink. I should go. I should go out of here.
All right, man, get home safe, okay?
I love the voices.
So you can sneak out the back with Angelo, who, as he moves, he almost becomes the shadows that as he moves silently and swiftly. And you move quickly and quietly across New Capenna, away from the activity of Jetmir's garden where the attack took place. You move not necessarily all the way down into the Chaldea, but certainly underneath the surface, and you come to a sewer vein that could have been an abandoned train track or a unused sewer, but it is a tunnel of some kind, maybe about 10 feet in diameter, poorly lit. There are skittering somethings happening in the darkness as you move through, and he takes you through a maze of twists and turns and furthers and downs, and eventually you get to what looks like a vault door, circular and enormous, and that's where you are.
All right. This is the location. No other entrances.
This is as far as I've gone. I don't really have much else for you.
All right. Well, I'll be true to my word. I appreciate you taking us here, and I'll make sure Nicholas knows that you're good where you're at.
All right. We can have that conversation later. For now, this is all you need. I'm gonna make sure I don't die tonight.
Nobody's looking for you. At least not from us.
You kids have fun. And he fades into the shadows.
Boyfriend.
I thought that was the guy we were supposed to kill. He says a little extra loudly. Like, don't worry, I'm just kidding.
Make a perception check, Gustav.
Oh boy.
Do it.
Okay.
You asked
Plus
for it.
3.
Oh,
Come on, natural one.
yeah, that's a 17.
You hear just a breathy chuckle from somewhere in the sewer system as you say that.
That was a very good Joker-esque voice. I think it's the first time we've had that one.
I tried. I thought that fit this picture.
Pretty good. I liked it.
All right, good.
All right.
So you all are at a large vault door, with no knowledge of what's inside of it, other than this is where, I mean, you know that this is the location of Xander's vault. But beyond that, who knows?
All right. Should we all try to make like some checks to see if we can come up with how we might open this vault, or see
Well,
if
tell me
anybody
what you want. Yeah, I mean, you're in front of a vault door. It is locked.
Yep.
I'll tell you what checks to make. You tell me what you're doing.
I want it open. I just want to look at it and see if I can tell what we might need to get. Do we need like Xander's eyeball? Do I need to like go get Xander's head and like open it? Like,
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check at advantage since you're all doing it together.
all right, so everybody is at advantage.
Well, either two of you roll or one of you rolls at advantage.
I see.
I take the advantage. You should do the advantage energy.
I only have +1 to investigation.
Oh. I think mine's much better.
I'm kind of the muscle. Octopus, are you any good at this?
I only have a +1.
I feel like with your extra tentacles, you should be able to feel around or something.
Are you tentacle proficiency? Do any of you have sleight of hand proficiency?
I do not have proficient. I'm just +1.
I do. I'm +3 in sleight of hand.
Okay. I will let you use your proficiency and add it to your intelligence. This is going to be an investigation sleight of hand check. What that means is you're going to add your investigation, or sorry, not your investigation, your intelligence, whatever your intelligence bonus is, and then if you're proficient, you're going to add your proficiency bonus. So this is you feeling around the door, not necessarily looking, not necessarily listening, but using sleight of tentacles to see what locking mechanisms are in place here.
Okay, Airball, you should watch closely because this is how you treat a woman.
Oh my god.
It's like those videos back in Kamigawa.
Ooh, all right, that's still not great. Okay, that's a 10.
Okay, with a 10, you can tell that this door is state-of-the-art security. This is a safe door that is beyond anything you've seen in Obscura hands. It is the top-of-the-line security. With a 10, you do see a central wheel that can be spun when the door is unlocked. You cannot identify how the door lock mechanism works.
Okay. So, I'm assuming you report back saying you couldn't quite figure out how to treat a woman. You couldn't quite figure out how to please a woman.
Couldn't find the keyhole.
Airball, can you tap into the New Capenna data system technology crap and tell me where the nearest locksmith is? Maybe we need to go shake down some locksmiths, get some information.
Yes, I took the opportunity to upgrade Relp when we first entered the plane. Let's see. Relp. Is there a locksmith nearby?
Wow, you updated Relps. So this is Relp 2.0?
2.0 Capenna version.
Capenna version. Relp, who was a very pleasant Shiba when you left Kamigawa, is a French bulldog. As you summon the spectral image of your intelligence, like Alexa-style artificial intelligence, and he looks at you and goes, "Rello, what would you like?"
Greetings, Relp. We are looking for a locksmith. Is there one nearby?
Hey, give me a second here. And he will begin to look through the options, people to look up, while I do the same.
I don't know. With us not having any idea how to get anywhere with the start of this door, I feel like it's best to just maybe we send Yaman to like tell this locksmith to come open the door.
Well, I was gonna ask, because I've worked with the Riveteers, is it a potential that I might understand the structural integrity of the wall?
I thought you were going to ask to just punch the wall down.
That's kind of where I'm getting at, but
Right. I would say you could make a check of some kind to determine that. Give me a survival check.
okay, I don't think I have much in survival aside from strength.
Survival's the closest I can think of
You're
to
+2.
I know these streets
Oh,
kind
okay.
of situation, you know?
18.
Woo!
Okay. Looking at the structural integrity around you, you do not find any weak points on the wall. In fact, far from it. You find that as you knock on the stone, behind it there is armored wall. It is a highly secure area that, you know, even it might be easier to blast through the door than through the wall. You don't necessarily know.
Okay. So
Relp comes back and says, "The best locksmith in New Capenna, as well as one of the most valued, is Toolbox."
let's head to Toolbox.
Time to talk to an old friend.
Yeah. Yam, you know Toolbox from way back. So you head on over to Toolbox's Toolbox. Well regarded as the place to go for lockpicking, locksmithing, security systems, all manner of getting in and getting out. And it looks like the place is closed up for the night. But Yam, you know that Toolboxes is never really closed.
Gonna head to the special spot to get in behind Toolbox.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough to do. You've been here a number of times, so you know that on the sign, there's like a neon sign on the side of the building, and behind the neon sign, there's a call button, and you're able to, much like calling up into an apartment, there's a buzz inside, and then on the other side of a receiver, "Who is it?"
Toolbox, it's your old buddy Yam.
"Yam, what are you doing here?"
I need a little toolboxing help myself. Mind if me and a few friends come up?
"You friends? How many?"
2 and my boss.
So that's 3?
If you can count that, I kind of.
You
like
asking
count.
me if I can count that high? Listen,
Look,
you got
I
punched
lo-
in the head so many times. We can talk about this later. All right, fine.
Yeah.
You trust these people?
As far as I can throw them, which is, pretty.
Which is pretty far. All right, come on upstairs.
All right.
And as the buzzer goes off, a trap door in front of one of the windows opens and stairs go down.
Down we go.
All right. I'm going to let Yam take the lead here because he knows these people.
So the intent is to get Toolbox to come to this door, or do you just want to talk to him?
I would say, either to come or we get a device and or devices to go boom boom and blow up said door.
I mean, I didn't really come with any agenda in mind. Like, I figure maybe get information about the door, if someone is not helpful, then we just like grab them and like take them to the door and be like, we will punch your face in if you don't open this thing. I don't know. I'm flexible on the path from here.
Okay. So you begin to walk down these stairs, and something happens as you're walking down these stairs, where instead of walking down them, it now feels like you're walking up them. In the middle of the darkness, the gravity shifted in some way, and now, even though it doesn't feel like you've changed any direction at all, it feels like you're walking up the stairs, and you approach like a cozy-looking door, like a cozy-looking wood door with light peeking out of the bottom of it, and the door is cracked a little bit.
I'm gonna do the secret knock to prove it's me, and to knock, 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 knock.
Toolbox, come on out. Yums are hungry and needing to figure things out.
That is adorable every time. Come on in.
Good to see you, Toolbox.
Good to see you, buddy. Toolbox, Tori, comes up to about your knee. He's, well, maybe a little bit bigger than your knee, but he is a devil person. Perhaps even smaller than Archie. He wears a driving cap, is currently wearing a smock, like a leather smock, and has some jeweler's loop glasses on. And he welcomes you in. The room that you walk into is festooned with keys, and locks, and, you know, buckets of iron filings. There's a small forge off to one side, and it looks like he's doing some jewelry making, or some sort of key in a ring situation. As you walk in, and he gets up on a stool and spins around and says, "So, nice to meet you all. You have me at a bit of a disadvantage. So I guess I'll get started. My name is Henzy. Henzy Toolbox Tori is what they call me, and I am the preeminent locksmith here in New Capenna. And my buddy here, back, made me a lot of money very quickly, and I hope that you all are friendly and not here to rob me."
We're not here to rob you, that's for sure.
That is good. Thanks, Yam, for not bringing robbers to my house.
I do
So,
try.
Well, you failed in the past, so I'm just, I'm a little on edge. You've brought very tough customers here before.
She was good looking, okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so is she, but that doesn't mean she's not gonna kick my ass.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave it to you and her.
All right,
I'm just gonna back out.
This is weird art. No, you're not going anywhere, Yam. You come back here. This is not. You don't get to just leave.
My contract says I can.
Wow, you can read now? That's insane.
Yeah, Archie helped me. It was really nice.
Archie. Anyway,
All right.
So what do you need, new friends?
We need some help, and we need some information and possibly help opening a door. We are
Okay.
trying to get into Xander's safe. And we were told you were the person to come to.
Now I wish they were robbers. I wish that they were here to rob me of my things. Yam. You want me to break into Xander, Lord Xander, the leader, former leader of the Maestros, into his safe, into his vault, the most highly protected, most technologically advanced, and magically defended location in all of New Capenna? How much
Yeah,
money
I
you
mean,
got?
the fact that it was Lord Xander's doesn't really matter. He's gone. So, there's not going to be any trouble that's going to come of it.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess the repercussions for breaking in are not in place anymore. That is a good point. However, the security is still there. Just because Lord Xander dies doesn't mean that the 23-pin lock isn't going to still be upon the door. It doesn't mean that there isn't still going to be the thickest walls and most dangerous glyphs that sentient minds have ever seen aren't going to be inside of this vault. However, I do like a challenge. So, how much money you got?
I don't have a lot on me, but I have a pretty powerful boss that would be more than happy to compensate you.
Promises, promises. I don't need promises. I need money.
How much money?
I asked you first. How much money you got?
On me, I have like 200 gold. But I think having Obnixilis on your side is much better. I feel like you can come up with at least a favor or two that Obnixilis can help you out with.
Listen, I appreciate the situation that you're in, but 200 gold for me to start on this is not going to be enough. What else you got? You three.
Hey, Enzi. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
What if Yam puts in his next 3 big wins over to your side?
What if we help you get in past all the other obstacles and you can take some stuff out of Xander's vault? Why don't you join us as a team?
Yam, make a persuasion check at advantage with the backup from Jen there.
8, 11.
That was with advantage?
Yeah.
And all the additions?
Yeah, I only have like a
3 big wins, huh?
3 big wins.
Didn't you just have a big win tonight?
I did. Do you want all the earnings from tonight as the first?
I want all? I want all. Yes, please.
I promised all 3, didn't I?
Okay, let's go. I
shake-
thought you meant all 3 going forward. If you're counting this last one, let's see what we got. What are we working with?
I got you a nice steady 600 pocket here and another 200 banked up at the safe back home.
And with her 200, that's 1,000?
That's 1,000.
All right, I can get
And
started.
I have these 2 season tickets for the Park Heights players, and then I let me tell you, their upcoming season you do not want to miss.
You
this
have
is
season
really-
tickets
it's
to the
pricey.
Park Height players?
Well,
Amazing. How did you get those?
I will have them.
You will have them. Well, okay. I mean, that's pretty exciting, though. I love a good theater. It's always nice to take part and see the arts and support, the struggling artists like that. I used to do a bit of performance art myself back in the day, a little bit of stand-up comedy. Sort of left that behind in my younger days, but it was a good time. But yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the 1,000 and the season tickets, and we'll work on the rest once I see all of the stuff that I need to be able to start the process of getting through the biggest, most secure vault ever. You know where it is, though.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Show me where it is. I'll take a look. I'll give you a time frame. We'll get to business.
The time frame needs to be quick.
Listen, it's lockpicking. It's a safe that's thicker than his head, right? It's gonna happen when it happens. Like you can't rush. I said you support the arts. This is my artistry. This is my art. You can't rush artistry. So
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I'll do it as fast as I can, but it's not gonna happen overnight.
All right, I start heading towards the door. Let's take him there, guys.
Okay.
Good.
You guys, we'll do a montage here where you go down the stairs, out the front, back into the sewers. You're able to relocate the sewer entrance, get down into there, take the maze down, and locate the vault. Toolbox looks at the vault door and, takes out a stethoscope, He's got his jeweler's loop glasses. He's got a couple of magical devices that he unfolds and does some scans. He looks and he does this over the course of about 15-20 minutes. Takes some notes, and he says, all right, I'll be able to get started. I'll need to order some specialty products. I need to get into contact with some people to be able to get what I need to be able to do this. But I can get started on this door in earnest in about 3 days once I have all of my things. And then once I get started, it's going to be maybe 4 hours, 5 hours of getting through this door. I mean, it's a complicated lock system, but, with any luck, I'll be able to get through it in maybe 4 hours. But it's a process.
Is there any way we can get the things you need now?
Not likely.
What is it that you need?
Well, I need a magical set of lockpicks, the only source of which currently is not existent in the world of the world, but I know how to get access to them, as well as a magical dampening matrix to be able to turn off the security that prevents lockpicks, such as myself, from doing said artistry. And also, I will need a particularly strong, long, and thin tumbler hold to be able to keep all of the pins in place as I go along.
I'm wondering, will I have any information if this is like something that Nicholas would have access to?
I mean, this is not Obnixilus's specialty.
But like anybody in his network, does he have like people that do this kind of stuff?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay. Okay, then I guess we're gonna have to come back in 3 days. What do you guys think? Veggie? Any better ideas?
I think we should just punch it. And he Gustav gestures to Yam. I feel like it would take much less time than this person.
Airball?
Yam's just
I think we should let the professional work.
What were you gonna say, Yam?
I was just gonna say Yam's gonna turn to Gustav and be like,
And this is why you don't know how to handle a woman. Things take time. If you don't pleasure and enjoy the simple and little things in life and enjoy the time.
Okay, Yam. All right, Yam. I need you to. This is. Okay. Listen, I appreciate that you're on a time frame here. I appreciate that things are weird in New Capenna right now, but you can't rush this.
The shot.
All
My
right.
friend here is an excellent Fin man if you need help.
That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind. And season tickets. I mean, that's all the Fin man that I need.
Yes, just make sure to write down your address so I can make sure that they send it to you.
You've been to my place of business.
Right, of course.
I'll write it down.
All right, guys. So I guess we'll just have to come back in 3 days.
What are we gonna do?
I know a bar.
Well, we were supposed to find out the source of the at Jetmir's place. There was the magical item that protected Jetmir, and that's our other task, is to find out what that was. So maybe we just go there, see if we can try to get that accomplished over the next 2 or 3 days. Maybe we can find a nice squid lady for Gustav in the meantime, and come back.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
All right, Toolbox, we'll see you in 3 days.
Sounds like a plan. I look forward to it.
Okay.
Yam, stay out of trouble. Well, unless you're in the ring, but
You know me, Toolbox.
I got you, buddy.
Try.
Hey, stay alive. That's all.
You too.
I worry about him, you know? That he says, like, as an aside. Anyway, you guys move on. You're able to get back up to the surface. And if you're headed back towards Jetmir's, as you head in that direction, you do hear a bit of commotion from the area.
I guess we're gonna head that direction. Airball?
Yes.
Any info? Can you see anything? What do you think? Should we go towards it?
Well, I think this is a good opportunity for me to replicate my Wand of Secrets, which was one of the abilities that I acquired in the last season
Okay.
when we leveled up, and use it to see if there's any traps nearby.
Interesting. What is the range on Wand of Secrets?
30 feet.
30 feet. I would say you don't pick up the trigger of any traps. However, something that is trap-like is making this ruckus. It is somehow mechanical in a way a trap is.
Okay, and the wand is pointing me towards that.
Yes.
Okay, do we want to just run straight for it?
I'm into it. Let's go check
All
it
right,
out.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. As you turn the corner, you emerge into a bit of a plaza in front of Jetmir's place, which has mostly been calmed and cooled down. However, something is making a new ruckus here in this plaza. There appears to be a struggle. Again, many riveters and people who are cleaning up the area are taking cover as in the middle of the plaza, a huge 15-foot topiary dinosaur has come to life and is rampaging and making a dangerous situation even worse. And it turns to you and snaps its jaws at you like a trap might. And you can sense that this topiary is some odd amalgamation not only of plant, but also of machine. So as you round the corner and the citizens of New Capenna that are here run for cover, and the four of you emerge into the plaza in front of Jetmir's gardens, there is a massive 15-foot tall, beautiful green topiary that has in some way come to life. Airball, you recognize the telltale movement and herky-jerkiness of animatronics. This is a fully mechanical or fully mechanized beast, not a warforged or a technological simulacrum like yourself. This is a full-on pneumatic, probably uses some sort of fuel situation, and, oh, by the way, also plant-based and has been come to life and enchanted in some way to start to wreak havoc. It's very difficult to tell where the machine ends and the plant begins, partially because it's rampaging across this plaza and coming right in your direction as it sees you approaching its territory. And with that, we will roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh, combat.
This die is very hard to read. I chose the wrong die.
Oh, God.
6.
7.
Oh man, I rolled low, huh? 6 and 7? Let me see what my bonus is.
19?
That's a good number.
Go, Squid, go.
Are you rolling for me or no?
Good, I'll be the first
sure.
runaway.
I rolled somewhat low, but I rolled higher than you guys.
Airball got a 14.
Okay, so it's 18-14. Then the Stomper will go, because it rolled an 8.
Okay.
So let me... terrible. So who rolled the 18?
I had the 19.
Oh, 19. And who is that?
Gustav.
That's Gustav.
And then who rolled the 14?
I did.
Airball. And who rolled the 7?
I did.
Okay.
Yum, and then I rolled
then-
the 6.
And Jen last. All right. Which means, Gustav, you are up first.
Yeah, I'm. Gustav is not about this. He's immediately going to stop, turn around, and make his way to the back of the group.
Smart.
Okay.
Anything else?
Um,
You have an action and a bonus in addition to your movement.
yeah, let me see. I don't think that I will take a regular action, but I will. Let's see. Use bardic inspiration.
Okay. Great.
As I'm hiding behind the rest of the team, I will I'll encourage okay, yes, this is your opportunity to you protect me.
I got you, calamari.
Nice. So Yam, you will be the beneficiary of a D6, which you can add to any D20 roll, which includes attacks. This includes skill checks, anything, saving throws, something like that. Gustav, you are choosing to not use your action. I will say, in addition to your traditional actions, there's also the general actions that can be taken, things like dodging, hiding, or dashing as an action.
Yeah, what is the I guess what's the closest thing that I can hide behind?
So you're in a plaza. This topiary came to life. There are other bushes and trees to hide behind.
I will. Yeah, I'm gonna head to the closest tree, and then also, if I can disguise myself a little like the tree.
Sure, I'll give you proficiency with this roll. So give yourself a. So this will be a stealth check, and then add 2 additional to it than you normally would.
Okay. Actually, okay, it's a 10. It's a 10.
Okay. You've played trees before. You think you're doing a pretty darn good job. Airball.
Yeah, so you said that I recognize the telltale signs of animatronics. Do I know anything about what this thing is vulnerable to, or anything it's attracted to, or...
I would say go ahead and make an intelligence check or a history check for me.
You rolled a natural 20 on whatever it is you decide.
Wow.
They're both +4, so it's
Okay.
24.
With a natural 20, you have... I mean, you are in your wheelhouse at this point, fighting against something that is also made of metal and wires. This particular type of technology you well know to be dependent upon engineering and mechanisms. In addition to the fact that you saw that it was a trap, you see that its jaws are kind of moving in a trap-like pattern. In addition to just dealing it damage, you know that certain pressure points can be disarmed. You know that this thing can be taken apart, unplugged. If you get rid of a pneumatic system, it will stop working. If you unplug something key in either a magical or a physical sense, it will be much less effective. With natural 20, you can see that there are specific joints where this is occurring. Being a Tyrannosaurus-shaped topiary, the primary points at which you could disconnect are the jaw, the neck, the tail, or either leg.
And is that something that I need to get up close to it to do by hand, or can I, like, shoot at those spots?
If you wanted to take called shots, those called shots have total cover, which means that you would be attacking at disadvantage on those spots. So but you could still hit them, and if you hit them, it is going to cause detrimental damage to this being, but they're going to be harder to hit than just saying, I aim at the beast.
Okay, but if I can like actually walk up to it while it's distracted or something, then
you can investigate, look for the spot, and then do a check. Yes.
okay. Then is it legal for me to just infuse an item with like glowing light and throw it to distract it, and then run around the back?
You could give that a shot, sure.
Okay.
So you're gonna infuse something with light and toss it away.
Yeah.
Toss it towards the T-Rex.
Right. And then run around the back of it.
Run around the back of it. It's a bit far away at this moment, as you've just emerged into the scene. You probably couldn't get there with your standard action. If you dashed, you could probably get behind it, but that
Sure,
would take your action.
Let's do that.
Okay, so instead of infusing an item, right, unless that's a bonus.
It's other. I don't know if that makes it a bonus or not.
So yeah, not a bonus. So you're going to sprint to what you hope is a blind spot behind this giant plant machine beast, and begin the process of finding where exactly you can hit a pressure point to be able to take this thing down. It doesn't really recognize you as a threat. The topiary stomper sees a fellow machine person and doesn't particularly care that you run behind it at this very moment in time. You didn't hurt it. It doesn't feel the need to hurt you when there are beings of flesh in front of it. And so it maintains its eyesight on Yom and Jen and Gustav, and it begins to move forward. We'll move outside of your attack range, Airball, if you want to try to take an attack of opportunity.
What do you think, team? I think I'll decline, because what Ruben just said was that if I had attacked it, then it probably would see me as a threat. I think I can sneak up on it next round if I don't take a swing.
I mean, if you're sneaking up on it next round, what you're hoping to do is get a free swing, and that's kind of what the attack of opportunity is. So you would get one attack on it without it knowing or targeting you next turn. But
right,
that's kind of the same thing as this.
But my plan next turn isn't going to be to attack the thing. It's going to be to like disable the jaw at the pressure point and completely disable it.
I see. Then yes, then you probably should not have hit it.
Okay, then I'll pass.
Okay. It moves with breakneck speed, but in its herky-jerky kind of crappy machine pattern, up into the grills of the two people who remain behind, the two beefy boys and girls who remain. And it is going to make two attacks, one with its bite and one with its tail. It is going to bite at Jen. Jen, does a 14 hit you? Sorry, 13.
Armor class 16, baby.
Okay, the bite, it snaps like a bear trap at you, and it misses. As it snaps in that direction, the tail whips behind. And Yom, does a 18 hit you?
It does.
Okay, the tail whips and deals you 9 bludgeoning damage. As a odd amalgamation of branches and steel rebar hits you across the chest. And it's almost as hard as rock hitting you, or the brick house that you fought in the first episode. And it wakes you up a little bit. And that's a good thing because it's now your turn.
Awesome. Yum's gonna stand ready and go for Rage and engage in
right.
Frenzy.
So I believe that. So you're a barbarian, yes? So entering a rage takes a bonus action.
Yep.
What does Frenzy do?
Frenzy is not this turn, but every further turn, I can use my bonus action as an additional attack.
Got it.
So when the rage ends, I take a level of exhaustion.
Got it. Okay. So not this turn, but in future turns, then that'll take effect. Good to know. Great. So you have entered your rage.
I'm gonna go to swing.
Do it.
Thumb's going and swinging.
Would be 15. I have my attack. 21.
21 will hit.
Awesome. All right, so we'll go to damage. I'll get a +2 on my damage roll. So it'll be a great sword. So I got 2d6 +4
Okay.
+3, 5, 9, 11 damage.
All right. You take a big hack at it. Part of the tree branch falls, and it's taken some damage. Jen, the monstrous grill is up in your face.
It's a big one. So it's not a full action to take out my weapon, right?
No, you are so practiced as to not even need to worry about taking out your weapon unless you're replacing it with a different weapon.
Nope. I think we're just gonna take it and see if we can divine. What was my big hit again?
Smite.
Bonus action. Yeah, I thought it was divine smite, but I didn't see it on the list. Where is it? Oh, it's under...
Smite isn't itself an action. Smite is something that happens when you hit. So you would just take your regular attack, and if it hits, then you could smite, and it would cost a spell slot to do a whole heck of a ton of damage.
Yes, I didn't see it on the list, but I found it. So we're gonna go ahead and go for a hit here.
Great, roll for attack.
Only a 15. I have +4, so
Okay,
15 total.
15 does hit its armor class. Big beastie, not hard to hit.
Great. Okay, so let's see what the spell slot to deal 2d8 extra damage, and my current hit is two-handed is 1d10 +2.
Right. So you're going to roll 1d10 plus 2d8 plus 2. Paladins hit hard.
Well, my d10 was a 1, so
That'll
that's
happen
not
sometime.
exciting. The first d8 is an 8. Second d8 is an 8. So 17 +2, got 19 total.
Incredible. Well done. And you take off a whole nother section of hedge from this topiary stomper. And there are bits of sparking electronics on the ground intermixed with the thorns and the leaves of the now quite damaged topiary.
Woohoo!
Top of the round. Gustav. Your hiding spot seems to have done the trick.
Yeah, and now that he's seen that, there's been some significant damage done. This thing seems to be pretty preoccupied with that. He's gonna get up the courage to help a little bit. From his hiding spot, he's gonna throw a dart.
Okay. Make your attack roll.
It's a 10.
10 does not hit. Or rather, the dart goes in and doesn't seem to affect the topiary stomper in any meaningful way. It gets lost in the hedges.
I should have seen that coming.
Is that your turn?
Let's see. I think with that, I'm going to leave my cover also.
All right.
And try to move like out to help, but behind the other two that are already fighting.
Great. You are in support. Not necessarily in range of this giant topiary and its massive bite or tail, as far as you can tell, without it moving. But in support of your allies. Airball.
All right, so they've cleared a bunch of the hedges off of this thing. Are any
Yes.
of the pressure points a little more exposed than they were before? Anything a little
I
easier? to
would
target?
say so, sure. Jen was up by the head, and I would say that the neck point is visible to you. And I would say that the tail is also visible to you thanks to Yam.
Okay, let's run up the tail to the neck and attempt to lop the head off, I guess.
To lop the head off. Okay, so are you looking to attack here? Or are you looking
Well, whatever you think is appropriate. I'm trying to like use some sort of mechanical skill to take advantage of this pressure point and have the head fall off of it.
Got it. Well, you had identified that this thing is, in fact, basically made of traps. So I would allow for you to do a disarm traps check on the neck. This would either be an intelligence or dexterity check, or tinkering, as the case may be, to be able to get rid of some of its capability. Looking at the neck, you can tell that it does have a series of wires that connect the brainstem, it seems, but you aren't sure if it's exactly like a human brainstem, which of these wires mean what, without the intelligence check.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that then.
Great.
I have +4 to whatever we roll here.
All right. Your roll is 8 total.
I suck.
While you're familiar with animatronics in general and this type of... I mean, this is ancient technology as far as you're concerned. You've dealt with it in your travels, particularly aboard your old spaceship, but this is not necessarily something that you practice in your spare time. And so you grab at some wires, you start unplugging some things. Sparks come out, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the dinosaur in a meaningful way.
Okay.
Okay. It's now going to be the Topiary Stomper's turn. It was dealt a whole bunch of damage by two of your compatriots, and even though you're on its neck messing with it, it doesn't necessarily... It can't even see you, much less figure out how to get at you. So it is instead going to continue attacking the two targets from before. But it is going to swing and attempt to bite at Yam instead.
Okay.
Yam does a 16 hit your armor class.
Yes, it does.
Great. Then the bite is going to deal you... Well, threw that dice on the floor. That was very good. 13 piercing damage.
Oh boy.
I do have resistance to piercing and rage.
You sure do. You are resistant to the piercing damage. So instead of 13, you'll take 6. I do need you, however, to make a Constitution saving throw, as some of the teeth in the bite here appear to be poisonous thorns.
Natural 20 plus 5 is 25.
Yeah, you shrug off the poison.
Nice.
You feel it, and it goes through your bloodstream, but you've drank stronger stuff, so you're well equipped to handle this. Meanwhile, the tail is going to whip around. That's a 20 to hit you, Jen.
20 is definitely going to hit me. I have a 16 armor class.
All right, and then I'm going to roll to try to deal you some damage here.
Uh-oh.
Pretty low. That's 6 total.
All right, got it in my character sheet.
Okay. Yeah, that's... I could have dealt you a lot of damage there and did not do so. But that's okay. I still get to play with my dinosaur. And so it spins around, it bites, it stomps, it slashes, it julienne fries, it does all the things that it's doing. It doesn't seem to be stopping or considering that it is getting hurt, and it is quite hurt. But it continues to fight on. Yam, it's your turn.
Alrighty. I will go to main attack.
Yom's gonna take a bite out of this dino.
18 plus 6, 25.
Hits.
Great. $17.
17 damage? Wow. Okay.
Right.
You take another big hack now at its tail, and you basically skin off an entire side of the tail. Big sparks come off of your weapon and singe some of the remaining leaves and some of the flowering plants that are on this T-Rex's tail. Half of it is machine and half of it is green as you deal it a whole mess of damage. It is still functional, however, because the pressure point has not been hit, but it is damaged. Jen. Oops, sorry. What were you saying?
Frenzy. I've got the frenzy bonus attack.
Oh, you've got an extra attack. Yeah, of course. Go ahead. You have 2 attacks.
20.
20 hits.
Nice.
11.
11 more. Let me do some math real quick. It is still alive, but looking very rough.
Not for long.
Probably not for long. It is. You've dealt this thing a whole mess of damage. You are denting the steel plates that are underneath of it. It appears to have a robo skeleton with the meat made of these plants, but it is holding on by a thread. And we'll go to Jen.
All right, I guess I'm just gonna run it back. So it looks like Airball is trying to get around the side of it to do something. So I'm gonna try to attack it in a slightly flare-y way, so that way we distract it. So Airball has a better chance of getting it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go to try to hit it, I suppose. +4. Hi. Yeah, 15 again.
15 hits.
All right. I have 3 of the Divine Smite.
I believe you do have 3 spell slots, yeah. So you can use a spell slot to Divine Smite.
Might as well. So we roll a d10. 2 8s. +2. We got 22 damage.
All right. That is plenty of damage to be able to put an end to this topiary stomper. You're right up next to its face. You swing your longsword across its face, and the bottom half of its jaw falls off. The light in its eyes powers down. The magic that's holding it together sort of collapses, and like a pile of dry leaves in the fall that's been thrown, it lands in a thud on the floor.
Poetic.
Airball, do you need any replacement parts?
Always.
I don't think this dinosaur has any loot, right? Can we loot it?
Well, you can look at it.
All right, I'm going to look at it.
All right, roll investigation.
Okay, it's got to be something useful here. 14.
Okay. You looking for anything in particular, or just looking around?
Just looking around. Oh, maybe someone dropped money around it as they fled.
You do not find any wallets left on the
Damn
floor.
it.
However, you look around, and with a 14, you do see that it indeed is held together at very specific pressure points that, had certain screws been unscrewed or nuts been loosened, perhaps arms or legs or the tail or the jaw may have fallen off of their own accord. This appears to have been a malfunction of some kind. This particular being was not designed to be in combat. This is not a monster intended for battle. Otherwise, it would have had things like armor, right? It would have had actual teeth. Instead, this appears to have been an animatronic. This was something intended to entertain, or at least be a part of a show of some kind. It is, of course, here in Jetmir's Gardens, so it is not beyond the possibility that this was just something of Jetmir's and his compatriots that was meant to entertain. However, in your experience, you've never heard of anything like this, never seen anything like this, and with a 14, that's what you can get. This is wholly new technology to you.
Okay. I also just want to note that I still have animal bits in my other possessions from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I always loot the body, okay?
Airball, I want you to make an investigation check.
Me too.
You rolled a 4.
Plus 4.
I
So
would
8.
give Airball advantage on this roll because he was already looking. He was already in the neck. So go ahead and roll again.
13, including your bonus.
Okay. Looking at the neck and shoulders of this beast, you do in fact find the button that you would have pushed. And also, right at the base of the stem here, you do find a what appears to be a partially burnt label of some kind. The most of which appears to have either been torn off or burned away. There is some sort of glue-like substance that remains where the rest of this label would have been, and only the bottom portion of the label remains. This appears to be a warning or a warranty label on the back, and the words that it says are, you see that it's the back half of a sentence, and it begins with, "Or concerns about your purchase or warranty, please contact MMIAF."
MMIAF. Interesting. This sounds like a job for Relp. Relp, are there any business names or entities matching the acronym MMIAF?
Processing. Please give me a moment. Relp is going to roll a history check.
Let's go, Relp. You can do it.
Well, that's a 16 on the dice, so that's pretty good. And I assume that Relp, being a being of research, has a wide swath of things that it can target. Relp goes through a few permutations and takes a few minutes to dig through all of the information that he has available to him, and says, "I have located a organization with the initials MMIAF and a piece of advertising associated with them. Would you like to see?"
Yes.
Processing. Now. A commercial-like video screen pops up for all of you to see. The four of you can approach, and this would play out here in the plaza. Would you like to press play?
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't have autoplay? The future's
Right.
awesome.
As you press play, a commercial begins to play. Grainy and hazy as it is, poorly recorded, but you hear the some upbeat drums, and there's a guitar music that plays, and then a chorus of children are smiling and skipping towards the camera, and with them there is a cartoon clown, sort of mascot that skips along with them. And a voiceover comes over the top, and it says, "Where in the multiverse can a kid just be a kid? At a place like no other." The kids sing, and the voiceover and the music in the background, and they happily make their way towards a spectacular big top tent with spotlights and jugglers and all manner of performers, and the cartoon clown pulls back the curtain and beckons inside. And the voiceover says, "For more than 300 years, and having visited more than 550 locations, it's been the multiverse's #1 place for fun for kids of all ages and their families. Want to try your hand at our thousands of games? Be our guest." Excited children play air hockey and point and have wide open mouths at animals and performers, and they dance on dance pads and shoot laser guns at targets. A little goblin girl wins a water shooting laser gun game, and the cartoon clown reaches up and hands her an enormous stuffed bear. And the voiceover continues, "From classic games and rides to the latest in entertainment technology and attractions, we've got it all. And what location can boast all of this? Only the best, that's what. So come on down to Myra the Magnificent's intergalactic Astorium of Fun. We'll never stop traveling the galaxies to bring you fun to your door. Never." At this point, the clown turns towards the camera, and it is apparent that the clown has been the voice of the narrator since the beginning of the commercial. And the guitar stops, and he says, "Never, even if you try. So you shouldn't try. Especially you, Airball. Why would you want to stop us when you're one of us? Come on home, Airball. We'll be waiting." The voiceover and the guitar and the beat start up again. "So give in to fun, give in to adventure, and give in to Myra the Magnificent's intergalactic Astorium of Fun, coming to a plane near you very, very soon. Wink." And that's the end of the commercial.
What?
And I think that's where we'll call it for the episode.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We're going to the Unplane in season 3?
It seems the Unplane came to you.
Okay, guys, if you want to see season 3 on the Unplane, leave a comment. Help that algorithm. Oh my god, we're getting an Airball backstory Unplane series. Oh my gosh, I'm into it.
It chilled me when you said that. That was something.
I had fun writing that. I was
Yeah.
really hoping we could get there this episode, because that was fun.
Oh my god.
I was like, it for a minute it felt like it was kind of going on and on and on, and then I realized it was the Unplane. At first I thought it was like a cabaret circus or something.
And
But then-
cabaret cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got excited, so that was awesome. Okay.
You might want to put a content warning for clowns on this YouTube video.
Well, that was a hell of an ending for episode 2. We're going to, real quick, again, thank our sponsor, Cool Stuff, for making this episode possible. Make sure you guys use code DGen at checkout for 5% off to tell them we sent you and to make sure that they keep sponsoring these episodes. In our next episode, we are going to be finding Jetmir. We just got to his plaza and are going to take down the Topiary Stomper. But I think the next question is, where is Jetmir?
And we'll find out where Jetmir is hanging out on the next episode of Degens and Dragons.
Absolutely. Leave us a comment down below, guys. Let us know where you think Jetmir is, and whatever gets the most comments, we'll go ahead and incorporate into the story. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today and doing some D&D.
Are you talking to us?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for playing D&D with me. This was great. I got
I'm
to do a
supposed to
villain
be here.
monologue. Kind of.
I
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in episode 3.